We'll just do it like
Don't kill yourself.
Let's just say he's pulled my lop on.
Pointing if Sophie.
Like, we're gonna just get some cookie cutter actor and throw it in there, and the two.
Somebody else in the lead role,
It
especially.
had been because of when we went to the theater, everyone was super pumped and so excited that it was like, yeah.
Based off of what we saw in Apocalypse.
Zac Efron, again, that maybe she'll be that kind of character.
Right.
I'm banking on
I am
Vanessa.
Robert.
Bradley, aka my dad. Arseholes that just spew cliches at one another until the round.
Why not?
Late to the party is here with us today. A great to begin with. He has got these young actors like going on, then just Arnold being in it. That I don't think it could ruin the entire film.
Going to go down well though. Arnie was pretty unconvincing as a geriatric killing machine in the last movie.
Or I get their point.
And granted, she was a
She was
child
naive.
then,
She
so
was a naive character.
But now,
Yeah.
and Eddie.
See Rihanna's big one.
First Jurassic Park, the characters actually have a
Crazy
story.
version of himself in the Kingsman series, and that
It was in the moments, those moments that hit for the first time with that audience. It was great.
To be like that annoying or over the top for a voiceover role either.
Right.
Like it seems like something.
In a lot of the sequels, it feels like, how do we get people near dinosaurs?
Park has been able to nail down interesting human characters in this Jurassic Park franchise since the first.
Can't figure out how to
How to do
perpetuate.
At this point,
Like-
Arnold just.
an actor is a forfeit
Carry
to
always.
folklore nonetheless. Egerton, of course, played
He's very
himself.
deaf. A little bit.
I just
Whereas we've seen her move.
From
From
Tucson.
Zac Efron is an actor who has grown. He's grown. I'm optimistic in the same way how she. And when I hear their list, they've secretly been working on this hardcore for many.
Like, if there was anybody else in that character, it would
be a little bit distracting, but I think they could also do a lot to improve production.
Like the next steps.
But having him in a Terminator movie and in a non-Terminator role.
I don't know.
I mean, she did leave an impression on me by not leaving an impression on me as Jean Grey. I didn't really.
Pitchforks, and we make another list about how we were writing. You don't want that.
Wrong because she's up against a lot of. There's other actresses in the list like Sarah Paul. You're just clearly trying to.
Again.
Kind of like what John
Why was he cast in this?
Peel, Ted Bundy. He was really popular.
Yeah.
What part of that did they think was going to work? Sure, the high school.
Thing, then I can see him as Robin Hood. But right now, I'd be a little distracted trying.
Like there's one or two I disagree with. This one I was like, I kind of question a lot of what they actually.
watching Zac Efron playing Ted
Yeah.
Bundy instead of I'm watching Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
Right.
Although it will be funny to think of all the.
Would welcome this little rabbit into
Yeah.
your home. I mean, they will kill it
And
with.
of course, Tim Curry has a condition where
Bringing somebody else to that character, and they even showed it a little bit with Nightmare on.
Johnson.
yeah, Funky. That's why you're
It's in the Schmodown.
Yeah.
Xenia Onitough from GoldenEye.
It was like Doug Bradley's.
From Zac Efron. I don't want him. That's probably.
This is the Cenobite, and that failed
Yeah.
miserably. Otherwise, we're just
Oh.
splitting hairs. So
The only stuff it truly gets right is the cool dinosaur stuff.
The dinosaur.
8 actors who will definitely ruin upcoming films. Are you
Yeah.
Like, it seems perfect.
And yeah, Game of Thrones, I feel like she can.
Yeah. This one was pretty funny because this is probably the old.
Kingsman or any other.
Away. So yes, putting a little more time and energy. Let's focus on the Dark Phoenix and let's go from.
Ocean's 8, along
Let's come down to direction as well. Think about the new paintings.
Right.
So I feel like the onus is
Popular for the fact that he was very charming. He was good looking.
He was.
It was
feel like he.
bigger territory.
Right. Not one of them was Bryce Dallas.
I don't know exactly for sure, but it seems
Where I was pretty anti, like I'm not excited for this. This sounds
it is on her to really show a seeming affable guy.
Yeah.
Right.
So like,
yeah.
it's like there's so many movies now. You know the shape of Doug Bradley's head.
Of
course.
You know, so
actors who will definitely ruin it. Rihanna. Ocean's this origin tale is being
There he
touted as a
telling you.
shockingly evil.
There's a pretty good
Style.
voiceover as well in Home.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
the idea that people could try something different.
Yeah. Most of the time, off to me as I just don't really like James Corden and.
I mean, the Phoenix will rise again.
He must have done something to prove to.
Half-hour sitcom episodes, talk shows, and the occasion.
And knowing how to readjust or enhance certain aspects of her acting abilities to the entirety of the interview, where you see they factored in everything. And also, it's an Oceans movie. At the
Yeah.
end of the day,
I just need Arnold.
Audience right now. Well, we have to get somebody that will probably bring people to the theater.
it's an Oceans movie.
And not everybody has to be a dynamite actor for
Yeah,
that to work.
but then she grew. Not just
It's kind of like their forte in the Terminator movies, where
And he plays them so well in both scenes, and you don't see Eggsy
Yeah.
grew up with
right.
Yeah.
and he loves.
Something that, in terms of her character and what she's
Yeah.
played, so yeah, you can't really.
Yeah.
The writing, they're just
Yeah.
going.
I've been wanting to do a video about the new Terminator movie.
That's
See a
part of all
Terminator film
Terminators.
Without Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It can bring a lot to Jean Grey and the Dark
Yeah.
Phoenix
Somewhat by the weak link in the casting chain that is Rihanna.
Really? Yeah.
in this movie.
Kingsman proves he's got the body build and he can fight.
Right.
Yeah.
To X-Men: The Last Stand, and when they took out Jean Grey in X2, like
Him like lead a full like fictional thing.
The movie he did with Kieran.
X-Men 2 is like, yeah.
Based on which James Cameron has strongly hinted at in his interviews. Neither of those scenarios are
who that are like the.
How do you seems like it'll be like Sandra?
Yeah,
Bullock.
like,
Yeah.
I still believe he could have.
No, I don't think they're gonna give as much.
They don't have a hockey mask to hide behind. As always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon. Hey guys, thanks for making it to the end of
A long ass discussion, Adam.
fun. I'm not your dad.
Than watching Ashton Kutcher play Steve Jobs.
It's true.
Integral. What made the first one so
course.
like, where did that come from? So
Situation where she shines bright like a diamond.
It just wouldn't sit right.
really.
Because Taron, he was in that Kingsman movie.
And
I
you
liked
can
it.
Turner does it good anymore. When you have the actors still around, it's like, why not still use him? You know?
Yeah, it seems like
Of course.
But Tim Curry's Pennywise was monumental, epic, and because we did one video on it, TLC. And granted, yes, they're right in the sense that the film, your Hollywood Reporter, and it was like a 40.
Because it's unlikely to work with Arnie now that he's over 70 years of age. There are
Before it comes down to direction as well. Like
Yeah.
if you have
to James Cameron and
John Field.
Egerton, Robin.
You can walk out specifically pinpoint.
killer biopic. Not many good ones exist. And like My Friend Dahmer just came out, and that's
And that guy,
Sophie Turner churn out a lifeless performance as Jean Grey was
go a different direction, like you said.
job or not, like in my powerful performance.
Very different.
smarmy, which just doesn't.
back from trying to lose him into that character.
That's totally possible.
Discovered this movie existed, and I grew up
Super different, and the fact that he can pull that off, even if
for creative differences, and he seems gung-ho about this. And I mostly trust James Cameron's job.
Olsen's in there,
Right.
who's a fantastic actress as well. I didn't. It's usually these guys out.
And deep cut movie trivia knowledge.
Oh, now. And the fact that he didn't fit that typical profile because you're like, he seems like an actor.
Egerton is established. It's not reliant on.
Summer, I don't actually care what gender you are, nor your beliefs. Just make the goddamn film good.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
He's a fantastic actor.
And he
The ego, and you
Yeah.
don't see his character in the ego and Eggsy. Them casting him as Robin Hood, I feel like, and there's no reason for her character, but I feel
judgment.
yeah.
Robin Hood of all time, as that honor will always
Be said about when an actor grows as an actor in comedies itself
Rolls is playing the notorious serial killer, rapist.
would be like, we gotta ruin the whole movie, guys. Paul T. Taylor is the new Pinhead.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jesus.
way better than.
Find anything one way or the other about her performance. And the thing is, I have not personally had a
Alongside some immensely skilled actresses like Kate Blanchett.
It's so well in Kingsman, and he's very likable with the.
England?
Yeah, it wasn't Robert England, and you can totally tell. You're like, that's not Freddie.
It feels
Like,
different.
Glad we got to hang out.
Thank
today.
you for bringing.
because I remember like watching them, and I was like, I don't really care. Like, let's just.
a lot of
Many months now, and they've hinted at what they want Arnold to possibly be. That he probably wouldn't.
Covered Ted Bundy biopic.
What?
Who's
Yeah, you
predominantly
hear that?
Playing heartthrob and
No.
comedy.
And then suddenly he's even better in dramas.
My favorite arcs in the comic series was the Phoenix.
It's only going to highlight.
Doing with the Jean Grey character.
I haven't watched it since then.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Oh, not once.
because after a certain point, it's always going to be.
For it, and I trust them now. There's so
Right.
much he's willing to do more daring, risky things. And also, in terms of looks, and ridiculous to
Right.
me, because it also, as a performer, she's known than something that they're advertising this new Robin Hood film.
And stuff like that. I feel like a few more movies down the line, he as Taron
Get to the good parts.
Yeah,
Come on.
like if they did a sequel and they said they're not returning, I could care less.
right down.
At
Right.
all. Wonderful list videos were.
If anything,
All right. Well, what culture you got? I think it's for Variety.
Still kind of feel the same way.
Yeah.
And you have somebody, like, it's like one of those where you have somebody pictured in your mind, and then when it actually.
Up and knock it out of the park.
bring Chris Pratt.
Taking some acting lessons.
I'm not that familiar with the John.
Giant Ice Ice, or he would with the term
Possibly a step down for him, even though.
Ocean's 8 is bound to cause controversy when it lands next. Helena Bonham Carter, because we're smug. enough. With this in mind, I'm Jules, whatculture.com, and these are 8
Because oftentimes when we hear the quotes from James Cameron
Before Greg about how he is 2 different characters in these 2 different movies.
kidnapper, thief, and necrophile.
What?
Queen fan faces.
comfortability.
He's and he's doing Eddie the.
At least put more quality actors with Arnold,
Yeah.
whether he's a human.
No!
At this point, Terminator is going to come down.
The sole focus. I've got nothing against the man, but he's not what I imagine as
General. I like James.
The film's chances of success has already been compromised.
Expressions and your mannerisms a bit. The stakes here for me are that it's hard to make a good serial.
That to
Already.
begin with.
Well, yeah, I mean, Apocalypse movie, comic book, and that's why I love these guys. So please subscribe to them. Subscribe to The Real Rejects. Click that notification.
Our faction is really solid, so that didn't work so great either.
Right.
This formula, it may be a little played out, but my only concern about casting, I don't have any trouble seeing him.
That very suave.
on really does help support the channel. Plus, you get some awesome reward tiers as
On
well.
over here.
You guys have been in three videos now. Say your name.
Taylor might look the part when in full makeup, but nobody wants to see a Hellraiser movie with
We're getting to know him as an actor.
anything personal against Paul T. Taylor. He just doesn't have any business
Foster, just go. This is just Ted Bundy. Michael Fassbender in Jobs is very different.
Get something good sometimes,
Yeah.
and that could be a.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really evolved, and I didn't care for her character.
Zac Efron, the way how we did with like Charlize Theron with Mom.
actually in one that was seemingly made just so Dimension can hold on to the rights of the franchise. Number 6.
Sucks as Ted Bundy. That will ruin the movie. Yes, but
Be too distracting.
for all I know, Zac Efron might be even better now as a dramatic actor, strictly because of his.
For them, that like, okay, you're the Robin Hood that we envisioned to be in this part.
Part of the charm is
Ruin upcoming films. And then why not swing by whatculture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day?
Type of Pennywise seemed very off-putting at first,
Right.
but then
Doesn't suit Peter's cute and endearing.
I don't imagine Rihanna will also be one of the main people we focus on.
Of course.
It's
It's the dinosaurs, it's the action scenes, it's the popcorn, and it's the billions.
The issue that I will have
maybe
is that,
transform.
yeah, we need him to not be Zac Efron. I'll be like, oh, I'm just wondering. I think that maybe she'll have that same character.
should-
reaction channel that also provides great other list videos where I'm like,
The voice behind one of my childhood icons. He's a little too over the top and way too take up their metaphor.
and the idea of getting a different performance in that movie, you know,
And then
They tried it before and it did not work. But here's
satisfy YouTube
I love-
commentators. Yeah, but these guys just stick to their guns.
it is to get a film's casting right.
Yeah.
Get it wrong and the film
Actors to play with, especially Jeff Goldblum, which we know is
Yeah.
coming back. I don't need them.
Cyclops wasn't cool. Young Jean. First off, the X-Men franchise has not gotten Jean Grey. If Arnold sucks in Terminator, they sound like they got this whole much culture because they make some great points and they're
movie, but no one wants to hear him voice a CGI rabbit for over.
be one of the things you talk about. Same time though, I don't think she
Same style where he's not over the top, but
to be like.
Right.
The thing though is he's very believable.
Not very well, but
I'm-
they're
it's sweet and endearing and on pitch because he's already a sweet
Entire
energy thing is more, but he doesn't seem to grab. That movie got pretty good receptions, which is better than
They were before because let's face it, it's never been about the humans. These films.
The
It's always-
in this story. I feel like if she were to give a kind of a performance that Alicia Keys and
Aces?
Smoking
lessons,
Yeah.
to brush up for a bigger role.
And
Right.
for a huge movie like this with this cast, great was beyond going, yeah, you care about the characters. The characters are just great in the first.
But I can also understand because it's something that he.
always go to Kevin Costner.
Yeah.
He's
Everything up.
display horror when Zack Attack starts bonking corpses. Number 5, that they're going to be the same milk toast couple.
Think about this because
What was Eddie the Eagle and
With what he was talking about.
I have some faith, kind of because of Tim Miller, because of like sticking to his guns, leaving dead.
we should have done a video. We should have just put this all in the comment box. Hellraiser franchise for you guys.
Sure.
Hellraiser is still around.
Right.
It was a Disney actor.
Right.
was.
Yeah.
Austin,
Yeah.
Austin and Alley.
Because nobody really wants
In a big theater in
Characters.
Of course.
This is one of those cases where I feel like you hear be like, she's gonna.
There, and hopefully I don't think Sophie Turner will end up screwing the pooch on it.
It gives that kind of saying because I have that feeling
Well, he
Rock
does
it.
parkour, doesn't he? Doesn't he
Yeah,
actually do
I think he
parkour?
does part because in Kingsman there's
it will work.
James Gordon. That's what it really read.
A cast and crew.
They
Go kill yourself for this one too.
Old teacher teaching
Yeah,
these
that'd be
kids
great.
how to
There we
fight
go.
drug dealers that live down the street.
Could have made that role.
In detail because this is his first time he's direct. No one's gonna like.
I
I
think-
really want to see Jean Grey, even though it's called Dark.
James Gordon as Peter
Okay.
Rabbit. James Corden works well enough in small doses.
I liked him legit in the
Yeah,
movie.
and I don't think he.
He does deserve a shot to kind of expand his acting.
Just like Ted Bundy was, like you pointed out.
Right. In what is going on?
Of course.
The people who made this
Yeah.
video, they're right here, so go and follow them.
Be a Terminator, but some human version. I don't think it would ruin the film. Like to say
Or the way it used to. This is called Dark Phoenix.
do it when I feel like this might even be less challenging.
And that's the thing, is you're pretty much, we can really only fairly judge this.
Role number 3, Chris Pratt,
Something new.
Bryce Dallas.
They're gonna ruin it. Yeah.
To be able to push it forward. But again,
If they write
the
them
writing.
He Eddie the Eagle, and they're very different characters.
Yeah.
And then she gets her feet.
Inspiration just in terms of those that have been
Yeah.
doing it forever and those that have just started. I mean, you guess we appreciate it.
Interview they did.
Production values of that.
They really just say what they want. They,
Roles that I'm not sure that she'll fit in because they're just putting her.
It should have gone that way, though.
Yeah.
It feels like, okay, we moved on.
Is like Emilia Clarke couldn't carry Terminator.
yeah, she is Dark Phoenix, so it's very important that she does a great job. At the same time, though, the Ocean's movie, you got George Clooney, Brad Pitt, and Matt Damon, and no one gives a.
He is a little bit more, I mean, family friendly in terms of just someone you.
I think we are.
Yes.
Playing Pinhead while there's still life left in the great Doug Brad.
Corden, I've seen him do like bits here and there. I don't think I've seen.
Whether he ends up being a Terminator,
Yeah.
like that will end up propelling these movies into a whole.
Another gritty gritty Robin Hood.
Right.
In every little detail, and they
Keep going back to. So if they did,
can't do that anymore. Ray kicks ass in the film.
whether it's after 2, of course, where they're like,
He has good looks.
He's
Become a patron eject today by joining our Patreon.
story as those other movies where it's like, oh, now here's.
Painful, but nothing that qualifies him to play the deeply disturbed murderer.
We've got a long drive, but man,
When
we're
you
coasting
get-
on a high right now.
When you get there, send us some greed.
Approach it in a different way. I'm just hoping it does not fall into the same category.
Pennywise. People love the new Pennywise acting. He does 21 Jump Street. He does great in comedy and bring out a fantastic performance. It's like Jackie Earle Haley in Nightmare on Elm Street. Jackie Earle Haley is
Peter
more than
Rabbit.
capable of doing that.
He absolutely is.
Easily.
It is very biased to the fact where
Conflicting casting choice because Bell, you can be
Movie. Like we did that with Russell Crowe, and that
it's not that person or it's not that voice that you heard, you kind of get disappointed.
In other words, nothing like any of the characters that Egerton has made a name for himself playing, so
To now, like her acting ability
she's
has
evolved.
really.
there was little merits. That's just my opinion, okay? It's why I'm genuinely worried.
and I think it'll come down to, you know, does he have that sort of Tom Hardy level
How do you guys feel about Jurassic World?
It might.
story?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, and
Yes.
in Jurassic World, and
Differentiate, you know.
great Hellraiser movie.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
it seems like they're doing what they can with what they have.
Zac Efron as Ted. That's on the Schmodown, that's for sure.
I still want the reaction faction, my friend. We need to form up.
And I think that
Taron Egerton is that I just wish he would have done this role later
Right.
because I'm not saying they all can't do it.
Right.
I'm just saying there is a thing right now where we are very could still be sharp.
What happens when you do have somebody that is, well, far more invested?
So important.
Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Just fingers crossed one of them dies. Number 4, Taron Egerton at present. And that's our negative. Oh,
With Peter Rabbit too, and there's nothing about James Corden to me that suggests that he can't do something that
John's really familiar with the hell. Egerton as Robin Hood. That's another one where I'm like, I could totally see Taron. She steps her foot into this much giant
the video, aren't you a star? Don't forget to subscribe below and also
game. They brought that up.
that one
he's
one
jumping
shot
out,
where
yeah.
you're like, whoa, he really does this.
Peter Nikolai Coster-Waldau is fine in the movies I've seen him in.
something of a catch-22 situation.
To Hellraiser reboot as they did for an It reboot. And the other part too, Robin Hood.
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
Why wouldn't he be able to do that? Just because he hasn't done something that makes it troublesome is the main actor who played
Knightley and Mark Ruffalo.
I know where-
okay.
no,
I kind
You guys
of
are
agree.
Hey,
commentary. I absolutely mean it. So
And-
please go check these.
High success rate seeing Game of Thrones.
what he needs to do. We have a million Robin Hoods. We have
Yeah.
a million King Arthurs. We have, you know, there's all these characters that we.
Percent confident in it yet.
I don't mean he wouldn't be able to. Most importantly, subscribe or late to the party.
LTTP.
They are also a channel that features.
2, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Terminator 6.
He's the best
Now,
part of
obviously, this
Terminator
is a
5.
contentious
Yeah.
one.
So you can like break this movie. I don't
Yeah,
think it needs to be a good, like, in this landscape where we keep
What, really?
Howard and
very
Chris,
few
yeah,
redeeming
Pratt.
factors
Right.
of that
Yeah.
movie
And I-
relate to the cast.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
It's all too noticeable.
Yep.
Dimension Films pulled the same stunt with 2008.
I feel like she.
Now for this one, they're calling this X-Men Dark Phoenix. Simon Kim
Revitalizing the
To return back to the kindergarten cop franchise, and he can be an
Sophie Turner and X-Men Dark
This
Phoenix.
movie was.
You guys ready to see if we agree on
Yeah,
the
yeah.
apocalypse, the fallout, if you will, of the apocalypse?
Yeah, I have faith in her. I have faith. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't say.
Park is dismantled. If
I love X-Men, but seeing
then with newer actors, and things could happen in a good
Yeah.
way.
horror movie icons rarely goes down well because the actor who's been bringing them to life about this whole situation is that she'll be starring actors came home. And because it's a sequel, we can assume that unless there's going to be a massive character
Terminator
That's the
Resurgence.
shift, dies franchise
Jake
tumbling
Lloyd.
down, and the fans
And yeah, it was just
Those are like
every villainous crack addict ever telling people that celebrities are going to ruin films.
Oh.
They've not even
Edgerton pulling this.
life across the ages because
Phoenix.
You can totally tell though too from when she started on Game of Thrones.
James Corden as Peter Rabbit. I don't really get why I feel like they're just really.
Yeah, this movie, but then I.
Zac Efron. And if you have a great director guiding you, you could kind of watch this movie.
very much like, look, we got a Game of Thrones actor to lead this. Not enticing me anymore. Peeps.
alive in Tucson.
Oh, hey.
5-minute interview, which
really dumb. I didn't enjoy it.
I get it though. Don't continue their story.
Tim Miller and
it feels like they've all gotten distracted with dinosaurs
Every
which
time.
is so
Number
safe
7,
point.
Paul T.
Possible.
Taylor, Hellraiser Judgment. Hellraiser fans don't have
oh,
Oh.
I'm sorry, TV and
Yeah,
comedy.
right.
It's not a movie that I think requires high caliber, strong acting. In Kingsman,
Yeah.
and
On in the Phoenix story, the comic series, like one of my.
needs to be in it.
They know what they're doing.
Being like, oh, Robin Hood, okay.
There's another Robin
Yeah.
Hood.
Yeah.
Fox.
Happened correct.
in
Dashing.
darker roles such as Parkland and the downright weird Paperboy.
Could actually win over a jury, and I feel like Zac Efron has that ability to do because I think of like Channing Tatum. I didn't really like his
About the subject, otherwise
comes is will we be able to see past.
a based show to an action film is proving to be a struggle that she just simply isn't rising to.
Still kick
Possible
my
ways
ass.
The sequel might be able to use him. I mean, he could play an aging T-800 again like he did, and she'll have no lavish CGI to hide behind.
That's probably.
No, I could totally see Taron being Robin Hood. He has like
11's Hellraiser Revelations by casting Stephen Smith.
If it's a lighter tone film, makes me just automatically go like, yeah, of course he can pull off a
Word associate, because they borrow the King Arthur stuff in
Yeah.
that.
After the Ghostbusters debacle, female-led spin-off
really, I started talking with John about it. I'm like, I actually am very excited with that. And now she can be more comfortable coming in reactions, and they are also wonderful with commentary. Cool, charismatic, appealing dude.
pulling her to these other, like with Daisy Ridley, her being in Star Wars, they're kind of pulling because she's in Star Wars.
Yeah, yeah.
And I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like maybe too, they're pulling Taron because he did.
None of the new cast members. Yeah, the problem comes.
The dollars that comes with
Well,
it.
no movie, ever since the first Jurassic numbers were really that great
No.
in it. And it just seemed like the one Bryan Singer seemed less passionate about. He worked on the script for X-Men The Last Stand. I feel like he's going to put a lot of attention. Really quick.
Pinhead's his.
Okay, well, this might be the first list from What Culture where Anna possibly not really shining so strong screen roles. I heard she was pretty good in Bates Motel.
We saw her in Valerian,
They kick ass on the Schmodown. Love you guys.
back and forth.
appeared in yet. It's all speculation. Yet it does highlight how important it
Doing this movie, I'm more concerned about what the movie is.
is. To call her wooden would be an insult to the raw material itself. Most of it was down to a lack of natures were originally based nature, starring Peter Austin. But you know what? I won't rabbit on a
Of us. Great debate list you put together here. Subscribe to What.
Chops. It also, like we said before,
and the City of a Thousand Planets will tell you that acting is not one of them.
She was
What
in it
about
for
that?
2 seconds.
The only thing that bugs me about his casting in this, because I'm with you,
Hello, Reject Nation. It's Greg Alba here.
and it's John!
That kind of thing might have gone down well in a more light-hearted Robin Hood reboot. But Hood. In fairness,
pretty
Smith
good.
Ellington
Yeah, I
won't
could
be
see
the
that.
most miscast
I don't fully agree with a lot
Yeah.
of what they're saying.
Quite a few.
Well, because it kind of eschews,
Yeah.
and that makes me think.
actor and Sandra Bullock. it will only serve to highlight her shortcomings.
Jingle all the way.
Okay.
3.
Who is your
grandson and what does he
do?
So negative list. I have fun with you. Well, drop me a comment down below letting me know which other actors you reckon might.
It's a gamble more than it is like, oh, what were you thinking? I'm like,
Zac Efron, extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. Extremely wicked.
Could ruin the entirety of the film because there's already such a huge cast that everyone. Cameron and Tim Miller seeing an X-Men movie, first movie he's directing.
Hey, you get a lot of collab.
Don't like doing these lists. It's basically me, a man who looks like Game of Thrones is a good nesting ground.
I'm sort of like, I don't some in charming. Just
Top cookie cutter actors are Sam Worthington and Jai Courtney, and both of them were in Terminator.
If she
In front of the camera.
She is a woman of many talents for sure, but anyone who sat through Battleship or Valerian
100%.
His home was not our demographic, but it was pretty successful.
one, Sophie Turner, X-Men Dark Phoenix. I love Game of Thrones and
Phoenix will fall. I mean, it was definitely something that I did want to see.
So yeah, Arnold isn't gonna.
The adult, if they approach it that
Kingsman, a much lighter tone. There's something that's
reimagining that takes its cue from Peaky Blinders. So, this
them to come back. I don't know if it'll ruin it if they figure out a clever way and the right.
Franchise because it does seem kind of apparent that what
words that Pete used to describe the decision to cast Zac Efron as the leading up.
the serial killer biopics are,
Yeah.
and so it'll come down
Back, let's give them a whole new
Yeah.
gamut of Vader movies. So it's like if they can,
to the quality of the
I would be like totally fine with it. Yeah.
and that's the thing is they did Paddington, and Paddington came out. It's like that is the one.
Of Owen and Claire were just so boring. Trite dialogue.
is,
Yeah.
you know, this sort of live action siege.
Talking about this new Terminator, they just give you like quotes in an article. I watched the
Getting to maintain and elevating her to be the focus of the Dark Phoenix saga.
they put down. Let's go through it a little bit. They make a good point about like a lot of people really cared for her as Sansa.
Movie as well as his performance.
James,
So much.
and hopefully you guys have a safe trip back to
It's
Arizona.
a long drive
I
home.
don't know if we need enough classics from before that we love but can't.
Bullock and Kate Blanchett as the main faces we'll pay most attention to.
And
Timely references.
This doesn't sound like that
There's a
Arnold
lot
will
of
be the main.
factors,
Yeah,
too.
They're
there's
not
so-
Jai Courtney.
If you say
Is the whole like making movies to keep the rights and stuff. The thing about Hellraiser is that like there are
By the Crusades.
it just didn't
Yeah.
work with me.
well, people have to realize too, a lot of it does. I imagine that this time around that he's gonna do his best to make sure Jean Grey.
You see it on screen or see it in like
Very different mannerisms and voices. They're super.
that's the thing is you take veteran actors there and you put
too, because it kind of gives me that feel as well.
This is his chance to do right what he did, everything that went wrong with the Dark Phoenix story.
Well, there you go.
Yes.
But for me,
I get it. Not even her was great. It's kind of just a disappointment with there being.
For an hour. He was tolerable.
We're not the
Into Woods, but
demographic.
again, he wasn't.
whole, resurgence of the franchise. Was Resurgence one of them? Anyways.
These issues. She's a capable actor, but she's one that's still learning for confidence in her American accent, which she just kept on.
I was saying about Peter Rabbit is kind of
Right.
how I feel about this. I'm like, I'm way less concerned about Taron Egerton than I am. Only one I'm like, you could be 100% right.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas.
never go back to Arizona.
We could never go back successful, and she
Yeah.
is the main character. It did pretty well. I know it was popular.
she could also be.
These actors will ruin the movie. Is kind
This
of.
version of The Prince of Thieves will most likely be a brooding anti-original bit part in a Hollywood.
It will probably be a problem because I hope that I don't want to see Zac Efron.
Arizona, wait.
Ocean's movies are. It's cool to just see a giant cast assembled, and while I would like them to do more, each and every time. Not even when they had
Funky Joe.
Ted Bundy. This is a.
I don't like those characters. Dimensions willing to invest is the amount that keeps them the rights and
Right.
not that makes a great.
Oh my god.
For this specific tale, and I feel like she'll take it very serious.
Especially
yeah.
after all the feedback from what came
And he's doing King.
out, and it was something that was so charming that everybody loved it, whether it was the kids.
Something gritty necessarily doesn't. X-Men, there's a huge ensemble in terms of the character and the writing, but also
Is that it's parallel. Like Zac Efron is super handsome.
If you want to see more content, there's probably some stuff floating up above my head. Why not check it out? It could be
bigger thing going
heroes scarred.
on me a lot, primarily because of comedies, right?
Or what I would be worried about than the casting of James.
Yeah,
Corden.
yeah.
Her in Game of Thrones because of the way that she portrayed of like way of being Robin Hood. And I can totally see him.
Off.
Absolutely.
If you see Kingsman,
Like I was hoping for it.
Gonna have to break that one up.
When it came to
Actors in
they
movies.
stick to their guns on what they're saying. Why I like them is because
Of like being able to just
Yeah.
change your experience. Had like Bernie Mac.
On Elm Street, when they reboot it,
Jackie Earle Haley, and it wasn't Robert.
From meek to strong in more ways than one. However, jumping from a
I
dialogue
agree with him with them being these just like going banter.
thing,
But that's
Terminator
also
6
check.
finds itself in
I'm just like, oh, I'm really excited when
Right.
she's on screen and the way that she plays her character on.
But I am not.
about the sequel. Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard are good actors in their own right, but their characters
Associate your way to.
become synonymous with the character. And
And it kind of feels like
Biased because I'm more concerned about how's this movie gonna.
Hey guys, welcome! So, today I'm going to be reacting to Cookie Girl. Yeah, and let's just get right into it, okay? Okay, here we go. Yeah, okay, so there's a man staring at a screen. Okay. Yeah. And he's noticing there are like cookies on the table and little crumbs. And this is making him feel something, I guess. And the cookies, they're like all crumbled up. So I guess like someone ate them, which I think is a really not nice thing to do to someone's cookies. And they're like leaving this trail. And he thinks it's weird, I guess. He's making these faces. Okay, so he's like following the cookie trail. Like it's going to lead him somewhere. Probably to like the culprit. Oh! Oh, it's me! I'm right there. I'm in the video. I was just laying there. That's really fun. That's really fun. I had the cookies all along. Oh, wow. Oh, that was fun. That was really cool. Okay, well, yeah. I guess that's it. Well then, yeah, goodbye.